time for this opportunity to come together and celebrate. Celebrate the task that you put before us. Celebrating that we're still working diligently in the task that you've put before us. The task that you have charged us with. We give thanks because we're still healthy in this work. We give thanks because our minds are still together in this work. We give thanks because we have ancestors whose spirit help us in this work. We thank those ancestors who have gone before us, our ancestors who have stood by our sides, our ancestors that we don't know but loved us enough to work, and we say, thank you. Thank you. We thank you for our elders who have sat down and said, continue the work. We thank you for their blessings. We thank you for them to continue to look at us and to hold us accountable for what their feet has set forth. And we say, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Creator, for the rain. I don't care about a drought because it will rain when it is supposed to rain. Let us understand the struggles in a drought. Help us to understand what we must do because you have given it to us. We just have to pull it out. Let us be strong. Help us to be strong. Ancestors, help us to be strong. And be diligent. Help us to love one another. Look out for one another. If we see a brother or sister on the street, let us remember to smile at them. Because through that smile is you, Creator. Yes. I thank you for WOSE. I thank you for WOSE. I thank you for the school that was created through the efforts of the movement and the task that you put before us. We know that the school was in it too, and I thank you for so many years of educating our children and loving our children. My prayer is for each and every one of us to stay in it, to fight, to pray, to eat right, to exercise, because we've got work to do. And let us pray for the strength to not give up, because we know that struggle is ordained, that out of struggle comes beauty. All these things I give thanks for, we give thanks for. This community, we give thanks for, thanking our ancestors again. And let us all say together, Amen, Amen. And Ashe. Ashe. Thank you. Continuing on with some pieces of our music that we have presented to the community over our 34 years, and we would not feel right if we didn't sing a piece by our dear Mama Jasiri. And for those of you who don't know Mama Jasiri, let us all say Ashe for Mama Jasiri. But once they know her, say Ashe like the way you know her. Let's hear it. Ashe. That's Mama Jasiri. Yes. Mama Jasiri was by Yehai. She probably pushed my hand up a little bit. She's not here with us any longer, but she was a powerful force in this community. one of the founders of Ileomo Day, one of the lovingest women that I have ever encountered in my life. And this was a song that she wrote, and this exemplifies exactly what she was all about.
And her picture is on the wall in the back. We have a coat rack.
I am so thankful, so thankful to be an African. Oh, yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh, yes, I am. And I know the ancestors and elders are smiling every day because they know we are both saved. The Church of the African Way. I am so thankful, so thankful to be African. Oh, yes, I am. 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 Oh, yes, I am. And you should be too.
This is another song that Mama Sherry sang. She not only sang this song, she walked this song. And the name of the song, and she lived it. Teach the children. Teach the children what they need to survive. Don't let them be misled by the same old lies. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. If we taught them well, like we should know by now. Should know by now. Some way, somehow, we gotta teach the children we want to liberate. Don't you know we have to educate the children? The children. It's the world you want to liberate. Don't you know we have to educate the children? The children. It's the world you want to liberate. Don't you know we have to educate the children? The children. It's the world you want to liberate. Don't you know you have to educate the children? The children. We gotta teach our children. Yeah. People get ready for the trains are coming. You don't need no baggage, you just thank the Lord. All you need is faith to hear the diesel coming. You don't need no ticket, you just get on board.
ready. There's a train a-coming. It's picking up passengers from coast to coast. You know that faith is the key. Open the doors and hold them. There's room for all among those whose love the most. I'm telling you that I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe. Listen, now there ain't no room for the hopeless sinner who would hurt all mankind just to stay his own. Have pity on those you know whose chances go thinner, 'cause there's no hiding place among the kingdom's throne. And I'm telling you that I believe, I truly believe, that one day black people all over the world are gonna live in peace and harmony. Yeah, I believe, I truly believe that one day Mark will leave this land and will send your soul away. Yeah, 'cause the chains are coming. You won't need no baggage. You just get on board. All you need is faith. With the deal coming. Won't need no ticket. You'll just pay.
Nagadep. Jambo.
See Jambo.
Jambo. Amandla.
Awedu.
Amandla. Amandla. You know what that means?
No.
Power.
Power.
Power to the people.
Yeah.
Away to.
Uru Sasa.
Uhuru Sasa.
Taking it back, huh?
Umzungu Urudi Ulaya mo Africa Party Uhuru.
Woo! Come on.
When white man goes back to Europe, Africans gain independence.
Come on.
That is what Mau Mau stands for.
Yeah.
So are you a Fanti or Akan? You're a Fanti?
I can, but I grew up in Asante, Fanti, that's one tribe.
You know, I think Wose comes from Wassa, the Wassa tribe, you know. Because if you read that book, The Africans Wrote the Bible by Nana Bakwe, Banchi Dakwa, he lists all the Akan tribes, and one of them is Wassa. It's very close to Wose. In 1980, two Baptist preachers from Allen Temple Baptist Church formed this spiritual movement called Wose. They were learning under the tutelage of the Reverend Dr. J. Alfred Smith, and he availed to them their library, of which they picked up this book, Destruction of Black Civilization. And they turned in here to the chapter that is entitled The City of 100 Gates, and they found out about a place that was the chief seat of learning, the chief seat of science, the chief seat of religion, engineering, and arts. they found out that at a moment's notice they could disperse 80,000 war chariots. Excuse me, 20,000.
Come on.
I wish we could do that today. I know where I would send it.
Come on.
And it was also a 6 by 6 square mile. The Arabs called it Luxor, or the palaces. They also called it, down the street is a place called Karnak, which is really Ipet Tashut. The most select of places. But we know it as Wosei. Some scholars say Wasat.
Yes.
Some scholars say, Dr. Ben in his book, he says Wa'at. And when I was reading Darkwa, when he said Wasa, I said, you know, that's probably one of the tribes. Seeing you, brother, it makes me want to say Yay Dami. How's that? Yay Dami Yasu. Yay Dami Yesu. Thanks be to God. I'm trying to say thanks be to God. How do you say that?
Yeah, that was it.
Say it again.
That was it.
What's it?
Yes.
I just love to speak in tongues. Sometimes, you know, when we get together as black people spiritually, we start saying yabba dabba doo and blah, 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 because we don't know our language. And so these brothers formed this movement, and many people thought it wouldn't last. I was there at the first meeting of Wosei. I was there at the first anniversary, and they thought that it wouldn't last. There were 80 people at the first event over there on 3209 Galindo Street in the Fruitvale district. And then after that, it dropped off to like about 6. There was the minister, his assistant, his wife, his grandmother, and his 2 sons. And then over time, it started to get bigger and bigger. Dr. Ben came. Dr. Van Sertima came. Many people came. The Attorney General of the UNIA came and spoke in this very building, after which when he spoke there was an earthquake. That was in 1987. We went to a place that was frozen. We affectionately called the Ice Palace. It was a Scottish Rite temple owned by the Warner family. And they had a troll that sat at the front of the building when we came in. And she would not give us a key. But then one day, one of our members, Baba Mayhew Holmes, was overhearing some people talk about this building. And then we investigated it. And this building was really delightful. There was excrement all over. There was broken windows. But as Hatshepsut said, you know, I restored what was in ruins. That's what we're doing here. We're lifting ourselves up. What is our mission? Our mission is to build a people and to create community. We've had the Nile Valley Produce Market, which was in existence for 2 to 3 years. We've had baby libations. We have good friends we have had and good friends we have lost along the way. Sister Brady Daniels. Let me just think of some people. Loretta Caldwell. Jeruba Osbrook. John Lacey. Kepra Pataliu. Bravo. I'm not speaking loud enough? All right. You can't hear me in the back? Yeah. You know, that's the first time because I have such a big mouth. All right. Thank you, Brother Ty. Isn't he sharp today? Look at him. Thank you, brother. So, I don't want to take too much time. There's so many people here. We're certainly glad. I've spent some time with the Mooney twins yesterday.
Yes,
And when I said that Karas Temple was going to be here. Christ Unity Temple was going to be here. They said, "Are they going?" And then I ended up calling Sister Tracy, and they said, "Yeah, they're going to send 20 people are here." So I'm very thankful and happy for that. I'm very thankful and happy for our friends in Sacramento. We began in Wose, Sacramento in '85. And we've been going strong ever since. Ups and downs, you know, peaks and valleys, you know, just straight ahead. And this is the 34th anniversary, if I'm not mistaken.
And
Who am I?
Yes.
Who am I? I don't know. That's why I come here to find out who I am. I wear this band to tell what time it is.
Well, come on.
It's red, black, and green to let me know what time it is. I'm a minister at Wose Sacramento, minister. Imhotep Al-Kabalan. Just really happy to be here. Really happy to serve our people. You know, we just experienced a thing with Ferguson, and then again with Long Island and other places, too numerous to count. It started for me with Tyrone Guyton.
Yeah, come on, no.
I was 14 at the time, and he was in Emeryville, and he was walking at night, and some police saw him, and they said he turned around and shot at them. So they had to kill him.
Right.
Of course.
But they never found the gun,
Right.
and they never found the bullets that he shot. I saw a person that was working at the Emeryville police station years later, and he was an educator at that time. When I found out that he was a policeman, he said, I asked him, I said, "Do you remember the Tyrone Guyton case?" This was in '72. And he said, you know, a pained expression came on his face. I said, "Whatever happened to those two policemen that shot Tyrone Guyton?" I said, "Did they ever get prosecuted?" He said, "No." He said they went on administrative leave and then went back on duty. And so when every time I see something like that, I refer back to my own childhood. And I've been listening to Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Whenever these things happen, I go to the ISIS papers, chapter 15, justifiable homicide. And when I was listening to her, she said what we need to do. We don't need to go out into the streets acting wild.
Right.
She said what we need to do is to get a PhD in black self-respect.
Okay.
And that's what Wose is. It's a place where you have black self-respect, where sisters are respected, where elders are respected, where young black children are lifted up and educated, where brothers can interact in a social and civilized manner with each other. And so I'm proud to be a part of that, a small part of that today. The worship service is livicated to the history of Wose Community Church. May that name live long in the memory of our people.
Good morning, Wose. My name is Katabazi, and it's my pleasure to be here this morning to lead a service in this portion that we call the Litany of Sacrifice. The Litany of Sacrifice offers an opportunity for us to return a portion of that which has been given to us. As has been recounted to you earlier by Minister Imhotep, the Wose community is a young and burgeoning community. We are self-sustaining by our own efforts and by the support of friends and supporters in the community. So these sacrifices are very important to our continuation, for our ability to sustain ourselves, to maintain this building, to house our school. All contributions are welcome. And moving amongst you or some of our young people, some of whom I recognize, some of whom I don't. We see Sister Jalea, Sister Dia, who are regular contributors here in the Wolsey community. We welcome their contributions. And we have Sister Kara at the altar for the lighting of the candles. Thank you, Jalea. And as you prepare your sacrifices, your contributions, and in celebration of this 34th anniversary, these words come to mind. Out of the dark and murky waters, battered refugees rose up, lifting themselves in the glow of a rising sun. Two forward-thinking refugees planted seeds of the imperial scepter, nourished it, and watched it grow. It grows today. We'll say the way. Then Mott descended with enveloping wings, surrounding the refugees, igniting restoration, vanquishing fear, ignorance, and superstition. Enlightened refugees, trod on. Be strong for the next generation. Increase thy meditation for a better revelation upon creation. Upon creation. And I see the people are still preparing sacrifices. So I will share this passage from the Hosea, from the book of Kulampu, passage number 6. Kulampu. Some of you may know him as Kulampu. That'll be page number 33 in the Hosea, passage number 6. And that passage reads as follows. One who lessens falsehood encourages truth. One who supports good diminishes evil. Even as satisfaction comes and ends hunger, and clothing removes nakedness, even as the sky becomes calm after a storm and warms all who are cold. Even as fire cooks that which is raw and water quenches thirst, he who cheats diminishes justice. But justice rightly given neither falls short nor brims over. Do not delay. Deal with the matter at hand. If you separate, who will join? The sounding pole is in your hand. Take the measurements. Surely the water is shallow, and if the boat runs aground, its cargo will rot on the shore. Give thanks and praises for Brother Kulampu. His words, his ideas, so beautiful. Coming to you from the Hosea. The Hosea is one of our classes books, and all of our members are encouraged to read and study that book, to have their own personal copy. The Hosea is a good book to have in the personal library of each one of you. And as I'm looking out from this particular perspective, It is very gratifying to see you, to see like-minded people come together, unafraid, unashamed, unapologetic for pursuing that which we love, that which comes forth from our ancestors. We give thanks for that work. We give thanks for that diligence. And as we continue to collect those very needed sacrifices, we give thanks for each and every one. All contributions are welcome. As each and every one of you are welcome here at the Wosay community. It is not that many of us, but we hope to see our numbers grow. And perhaps this can be the beginning. This can be the start of something that will work, bigger and greater things. That we can take this message of African spiritualism out to our brothers and sisters, those that are floundering and wandering in that nether space. This is our work, restoring ourselves and building community. And attending the altar, we have three lovely princes. Sister Karai is the oldest one, and our sister Jadia. And who's the young sister from the end there? Okay, Brother Takuma's doing welcome there, sister. And we have Sister Adia on the end. Don't they look lovely? And it's so great. They all... Say again? Well, thank you, young brother. Thanks to all of our young people that participated in the service today. This is where it begins. It begins with young people, introducing them to the practices and history of our ancestors. If you can locate a black binder, if you can stand next to someone, on page 15 of that binder is our Litany of Sacrifice. Beautiful piece of writing coming forth that we have held firm to for the 34 years that we've been in existence. Page number 15, if we could all please stand. And as we all stand, as we find that particular location, page number 15, the Litany of Sacrifice, let us read together. Save us, O Holy One, by your name. Vindicate us by your might. Hear my prayer, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth. How can we repay the Holy One for the gifts that have been given to us? We will lift up the cup of salvation and call on the God of our ancestors. We will fulfill our vows to our Creator in the presence of all our people. Gladly we bring our sacrifices to you. We will praise your name, O Lord, for it is good. Umoja, unity. We shall strive to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race.
Self-determination. We shall define, name, create, and speak for ourselves.
Ujima, collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our community together. Our brothers and sisters' problems shall be ours to solve together.
Together we shall build and maintain our own businesses and together profit from them.
Leader, purpose. We shall make our collective vocation the building and development of our community and the restoration of our people to our traditional greatness.
Creativity. We shall do as much as we can in any way that we can to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it.
Let's read together. Imani, faith. We shall believe with all our hearts in our God, our people, and the righteousness and victory of our struggles. Amen.
Amen. Ra.
And And as the candles of the Canava continue to be lit, kneeling pads have been laid at the front of the altar for those that may wish to come forward for a brief moment of prayer. Others, you may assume a comfortable position at your chair. And I will take just a few moments to bless these sacrifices. As the candles in Canava represent the individual Saba burn brightly, and Minister Tehuti plays on the piano, and a very prayerful close in time. Let us all close our eyes and be prayerful. Oh, Holy One, thank you for life. Thank you for this gathering. Thank you for this outpouring. Oh, Holy One, we ask that you bless each and every one that gave, no matter what amount. We ask that you bless those individuals and grant them their most fervent need and desire. Oh, Lord, we ask that you allow us to use these sacrifices to continue to broaden and sustain our work. Indeed, O Holy One, multiply these sacrifices that our work may go forth in a more expansive way. We ask that you bless those that may yet still be on their way. We ask that you bless those who are traveling abroad, those that are not here today but are traveling, whether they be on land, sea, or air. Grant blessings and protection, O Holy One. Be with us throughout the remainder of this service. Let us open our hearts and minds to receive the words and messages that will come forth. Let us take the best of those messages and internalize those in our own lives, that we may be more holistic, that we may be more spiritual, that we may be more physically healthy, that we may be more mentally strong. These blessings we ask, O Holy One, not in vain, but we come asking these blessings in the remembrance of ancestors that sacrificed and gave so much. The great work that you did with our ancestors and the great footprint that they left for us to follow. We ask that you bless the ones that will come and share words and be prepared to receive those words. These blessings we ask in the one God that we call Amin Ra. Ashe.
That was Minister Tahuti from Sacramento. We also are going to have another musical selection from LA. A sister from Crescent Unity. Sister Karen is going to come and honor us with this selection.
Represent Karen.
Hotel family. I am Karen McLean. That's my birth name, but I like to be really known as Unfer. Unfer. Yeah. Unfer. Okay, so this is totally improv, but I'm sure that the ancestors will guide me. Wow, wishing so many tears. Come on now. Wow, wishing so many tears. We shed so many tears.
Yeah.
400 years. Wow, we shed so many tears. Wow, we shed so many tears. Tell me why we shed so many tears. We shed so many tears for 400 years. Tell me why Said I want to thank my mama for so many tears. Said I want to thank my father for so many tears. Say we shed so many tears for 400 years. Wow, tell me why. We shed tears for Trayvon Martin. We shed them tears. Say we shed so many tears for Michael Browning. Say we shed so many tears for 400 years. Tell me why. I can get some of them drums. Come on now. Okay, so another one. What you want? I don't know. Play, y'all. Play.
needed that. I'm beginning to feel the spirit now. Do you feel it? You know, as the sister was coming up, and I said, Karen. When I hear that name, it is a Kemetic name in my ears, because in Stolen Legacy, he lists 9 parts of the soul, and one of them is the Ka. We were making the sign of the Ka for Ferguson.
Yes, they were.
Making the sign of the Ka. And then Ren, in Stolen Legacies, he says that the Ren is the name, and that no one could continue to exist without a name. So, I'm just saying, Ka Ren is a Kemetic name. I don't want to delay the program any longer, but we had some founders of this community, the Reverend William E. Calhoun, which I don't know if we've mentioned their name, and of course, Makalisi Oso Sawande. And well, in Sacramento, we really don't go a service without doing the Oso Sawande selection. But I don't know when the messenger is going to come, so maybe we can sing "People Know Thyself."
You gonna sing something? He gonna sing something.
Okay, well, all right. Okay.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. I just want you to know that Baba Gregg is my brother. And I'll throw rocks while he reloads. And that's how close we are. Do you have it in your songbooks? Do you know "People Know Thyself"? Let's just stand and sing "People Know Thyself." In the beginning, our Creator's plan. Page 33. Page 33. People know thyself. We're going to sing it a cappella, I suppose. Or we could sing "Children of the Sun." Children of the Sun?
Yeah, let's rock Children.
We are the children of the sun. Okay, what page is that one?
Children of the Sun is on
Minister,
21, page 21.
Page 21. Minister Makalisi was a prolific songwriter. He wrote, "When the music of a people turns towards greatness, a people of greatness might soon reappear." Children of the sun. We are children of the sun. In every task we shall overcome. Come on, we'll say, remember, we are first upon the earth. We'll be the last and the holy word. Once again, the chorus. We are children of the sun. joining me in this
So we've been asked to do one more song.
All right. Okay. Since you insist.
This is the song "We're the Tongue of Fire," considered as our musical libation. As you know, we poured libation earlier today, and libation is when you pour a liquid to earth to honor the ancestors. We raise our voices to honor the ancestors. On this, Wose's 34th anniversary, we sing this song for every ancestor that has ever come through these doors and has worshipped with us. And we especially sing it for all of those people that have sung with us as a part of the story. Where are the ancestors? Can you see them? Can you feel them? This song says sometimes you can hear them. All you have to do is listen. Listen.
When the finest voice is heard.
that God is good, say Ashe. If you know that God is good all the time, say Ashe. If you love your neighbor, shake somebody's hand and say, I love you. Shake somebody's hand. Yes, sir.
What's your name?
We come honoring God. We come honoring God in you. Look at all the beauty in this room. It's a good day to see everybody here, Ashe. If you're proud to be a child of God, say Ashe. If you're proud to be an African, say Ashe. You're glad that God gave you another breath of life to do the right thing, say Ashe. If you love your children, say Ashe. If you love your mom and them, say Ashe. And daddy too, Ashe. We give honor. We give praise to the one known by many names, sometimes known as Amen-Ra, sometimes known as Ptah, sometimes known as Aten, sometimes known as Olodumare, sometimes known as Allah, sometimes known as Nomo, sometimes known as Ngai, sometimes known as Jehovah, sometimes known the way your grandmama and your grandfather might have known as I am that I am. The great God of all the universe, unchanging, except that change is constant. So big, that's the smallest thing that you can know about. So little, you can't get over it. The God that we worship, and there's only one God. People put all kind of names on what they think their conception is, but there's one God able to shape and form all life. One God that's able to take a bad situation and make something good. To take a bad situation and bring life out of it. The God that brought all of you here today, brought all of the men and women from Sacramento. We give y'all a round of applause. Our sister community in Sacramento. That brought our sisters and brothers from the Colossus Institution down in Los Angeles. Y'all just stand up. Let's see who y'all are. Anybody came this morning from the House of Sankofa in San Jose? Anybody here from the House of Sankofa? We know they wanted to be here. Give them a round of applause. You know, they all have to do it. Our brothers and sisters from the Asar Set Society. Give them a round. Anybody here from the Asar Set? You just have a big African spiritual family here. That's all. And to the Rose community, 34 years of work, study, fellowship, prayer. Give everybody a big round of applause. As I acknowledge my brothers and sisters who have been trained and are working at this thing that we call ministry, and all this simply means is to administer to the needs of other people. My brother Imhotep El Kabelon, who's been part of this from basically day one. Give him a big round. My sister Alicia, as a minister, she's here. Give her a round of applause. She's a mama. She works. Our minister Tahuni from Sacramento, give him a round of applause as well. And a special thank you to all of the members of the Wose Council of Elders. All of y'all stand. This is our governance body, our council is here. Folks who have been here and working on behalf of this community for a long time. And a particular special thank you to my sister who has shown tremendous leadership. Tremendous energy and creativity to have a wonderful weekend of the event we had here on Friday night with dance and reception, and then we had a breakfast of leadership yesterday, and then we had a bowl-a-thon, and brought this together. Sister Minister in Training, Sister Tracy Brown. We've been here in this community for 34 years, working on 4 big things. 1, to worship and praise the Most High in the way of our culture. We are unapologetically African. We are unapologetically black. We are unapologetically children of the Most High. We say Ashe. For 34 years, we've been trying our best to learn and teach our history, our story, our story. Not those fragmented little soap opera-like stories that the Europeans will tell you about you, but what you know about you. What you know to be true about the African people, because we're an ancient people. We have a long and proud and deep, rich history. And every time you want to tell you about yourself in movies like Exodus, what do they call it, Gods and Kings, you probably don't even need to spend your money on that. They got another movie coming out that's saying, you know, your ancestors and kin, but they ain't really black. They got Charlton Heston playing it the first time. Now they got somebody else playing it. Come on, y'all. Y'all know. Other people can't tell your story like you. Even in this community, we think about the Malanda Center, and I see my friend Takuma King here and others. Don't let nobody tell you about Malanda. You know about Malanda. We got to keep that story alive. For 34 years, we've been saying we are part of the natural ecology, that we are the original environmentalists. We're the original stewards of the earth. We're the original green folks. We had it red, black, and green. We always have taken care of Mother Earth because we understand that we are children of her. It was only other people that invented nuclear waste that they don't know what to do with. It's only other people that created chemicals that killed our ozone. That wasn't us. But we don't fix it because we're in the best positions for the planet. We got to dig into our history, our culture, our science, and know what to do. And for 34 years, we've had a social justice agenda. When the sisters and brothers were coming from Grenada, we welcomed them. When the sisters and brothers came from Haiti, we welcomed them. When sisters and brothers on the streets of Oakland, we marched around City Hall 7 times, like the Wall of Jericho back in the day. Y'all remember? We've had a concern because our children's education is part of our social justice agenda. We have served for 26 years children in our full-day program at this school, Ile Omo Day, the house of the children. So our children go out and be scientists. So our children go out and be poets. So our children go out and be artists. And do whatever it is that they can do. For a few minutes, I want to just talk about this thing. My name is Minister Greg Hodge. I've been here for I've been since 1982. However long that is, since 1982. I ain't giving up, because I know you ain't giving up. This is a troubled time. But you know, it's always a troubled time if you black in America. It ain't never been no time there wasn't no troubled time. Stuff might have eased up just a little bit, Minister Motel. It might have eased up for a few months or years in Reconstruction. It might have eased up right after Barack Obama got elected. Everybody thought everything's going to be fine. But see, here's the thing. Your history will teach you that you have these moments in America where things look good. Malcolm said they'll pull the knife out just a little bit and call it progress. Malcolm pull the dagger out your back and say, how you feel? You feel better now. Give a little affirmative action. You're supposed to be all happy. Hey, I want reparations. Hey, I want 400 years of free labor. I want some money with interest. Not no 40 acres in a mule. I want some land in Oakland. I want some land in Jackson, Mississippi. I want some land in New Orleans. And we're going to put these pieces back together. Can we put the pieces back together? If you change you'll change your world. Putting the pieces back together. There's a text that I want to share with you this morning. It comes from the Hosea. It's one of our fundamental translations of the words out of our Kemetic tradition. It comes from the book of Coming Forth by Day, page number 108, passage number 8. It says, I am the great one. This is an epithet. This is like an affirmation before folks even talk about affirmation. We would affirm who we are. It says, I am the great one. The son of a great one. The daughter of a great one. I am the fiery one. The son of the fiery one. The daughter of the fiery one. Whose head was restored to me after it had been cut off. Can we get our head back? Can we get our consciousness back? All these spiritual communities that we represent here, is that exactly what it is. We're trying to find our spiritual head. We're trying to get our Ori together. We're trying to get our Ma'e Kairu together, our true voice. Because what we have been represented as is not who we are. It says, it has been restored to me after being cut off. The head of the Sar, the risen one, is not taken from him, and my head should not be taken from me. I have risen up and knitted myself together. I have made myself whole. I renew myself and grow young again. I am one with the Sar, the Lord of eternity, putting the pieces back together. We are African people, or ancient people, with ancient stories of our origins. We crafted those teaching stories. My education friends would say that's part of our curriculum, part of our pedagogy. How we teach is stories. And these stories have persisted for millennia. As the Igwe Alma tells us, we are not children. We are not historically children. Our understanding is a mature understanding. Come on, y'all know what I'm saying. We're a mature people. And mature people don't believe in fables and things that are for children's stories and nursery rhymes. We believe in the trueness of creation. We believe in those stories that our ancestors put together because the African people, we respect everybody. But we also know who we are. See, He was all humanity comes out of Africa. Africans are the elders of humanity.
Come on.
We're the elders of humanity, and with that comes great responsibility to teach, great responsibility to correct things, great responsibility to bring ma'at, truth, justice, and righteousness to every situation. That's why we came to America. That's why we've been here for 400 years, to remind Europeans and Eurocentric culture of the realness of life. That's our job. You may wonder sometimes, God, why did you bring us and put us in chattel slavery? Why did you have this happen to us? It's so that we could fix that which was broken. And so we could put the pieces back together. We're from a primordial source, new, with ma'at as a foundation, and through grand and mighty consciousness came all creation. First comes Ptah, great fashioner to call and shape creation in all its essential elements of Shu, light and air, Tefnu, moisture, Geb, the earth, Nut, the sky, and then come the children of God, Asar, Aset, Set, and Nebuchadnezzar. And then proceeded forth all of the creeping and crawling things, all of the forms of life in their beauty and power, the waters, the fish, the birds, the air, the amoeba, and the sperm whale, the stars, the comets, the things unseen and seen. Amirat itself, time itself comes into being. Being itself comes into being. And Asar and Aset, those divine personalities. And don't get confused, we are mature people. When we put the pieces together of our story, we look at the symbolism of these stories. We don't take them as literal. We take them as symbolic. What did Asar and Aset story have to teach us about what we need to do right now to put the pieces back together? Asar and Aset were the divine personalities of masculine and feminine energy. And then they moved among the people of the earth, bringing wisdom, civilized actions. We the most civilized people. We the folks with home training, y'all. We got home training. We know what's appropriate. They moved through the earth, but not with sword and chariot, not with kidnapping and pillage, not through subjugation, manifest destiny, slavery, colonialism, stand your ground laws, not with vigilantism, but they changed and civilized the earth through the power of their speech, through the power of words, through the power of song, through the power of spoken word, through the power of music, through the power of love in action, changing themselves as they change the world. But as creation has it, there's always some misfit around. There's always some falsehood around. There's always some jealousy around. There's always some envy and some spite. There's always some evil that exists. But it has to be subdued. It's going to always be here, but you got to subdue it. That's part of what that story is about. And in that story, they talk about how Asar and Aset have gone out and moved around the world, and they've civilized the people, and they govern through the power of Ma'at. But then here comes Set. Here comes that corrupt energy. Here comes that out of control, unchecked, unleashed energy. See, it's just metaphors for what we got inside us. Don't get mad at Set because you got a little Set in you. You just got to figure out how to use it. Ashe? You mostly got Asar and Set. You mostly got Tehuti. You mostly got all of those Netures, those Orishas. That's what that's about. Don't get caught up in making it personal. Turn it into people. That's the energy in us. Ooh, can I get a little water from back there? I ain't going to keep you too long, but I can't even say something. So this morning, as we think about this story, here's Asar and Set. And Set comes in with 72 conspirators. And he fashions a plan to kill his brother Asar because he's jealous of his power. He's jealous because he thinks he's lost his birthright. And they don't even focus. It's interesting. In that story, they don't focus on Aset. Thanks, sister. They don't focus on Aset, they focus on Asar. I think they underestimated the sister. Those of you who know the story, when they focus on Asar, like Asar was one, I think they underestimated Aset. Because it would have made two coffins. And the rules, the scheme was, we're going to make a coffin and we're going to make it the same measurement as Asar. And we're going to put him, we're going to have a big, we have a big party.
Make a plan.
Y'all know how that is when you come to the party with black folks. Probably had a lot of food. Had a little music going.
Come on.
Had some sisters playing. They were doing anything, some drums. Dancing. And at a certain point in the party, they bring out this beautiful ornate sarcophagus, this coffin. And they said, Set says, well, whoever can fit in it can have it for their burial day. And so one person tried, it was too big.
Come on now.
The other person tried, it was too small.
Come on.
A set got in and a SAR got in, it was just right. And the 72 rushed the casket. They closed the top. They nailed it shut. They put lead on it. They sealed it and then took it out and cast it out on the Nile River. But guess what? They underestimated Aset.
Come on now.
Aset said, I got to find my brother, my husband, my partner, this man who has, this person who I've been working with to bring civilization. We in this together. We put the pieces together, y'all. We're in this together. They underestimated Aset. They underestimated her, and then she goes out on her journey. She searches it. Even in her journey to find him, she transforms herself. It's a great metaphor. Sometimes you got to change yourself to help other folks. Sometimes you got to change you to help others. But Aset changes herself into a sparrow, and she flies around. She finds the body. It's been encased in a tamarisk bush, and she gets it, and then she hides that body, and to her dismay, Set finds it again, because here comes evil one more time. Just when you thought you had evil crushed to the ground, it pops back up. Just like in your life. You might get rid of that bad relationship. You might get rid of that bad situation. You might quit that bad job. But guess what? Evil keeps popping up and rearing its ugly head. Ashe? No different in her time. And you have to think about what are they teaching us in this story. So Set finds the body, and then he cuts it into 14 pieces and casts those pieces all over the earth. And not being dismayed, not giving up, Aset goes out and finds all the pieces for one. She reconstitutes the body. And it's a spiritual metaphor. She puts the body together and conceives a child, Heru, with that body, and Asar goes to the underworld. That story. What does that story teach us about our situation?
Come on.
What does that story teach us about how we need to put the pieces back together? The symbolism is clear. It takes co-leadership. It takes partnering with men and women. It takes partnering with the folks who have all the assets to make our community work. We got to be like Asar and Aset. It tells a story of the power of persuasion, the power of word and song and poem. These pieces were scattered throughout the world, just like the African people are scattered throughout the world. Just like we have all these things that we call spiritual traditions, and we put different labels on it, but those pieces got to come back together, y'all. If we're going to save our community, we got to show unity. If we're going to save our community, we got to put the pieces back together. You got a piece, I got a piece, this sister got a piece. But if we act like we in this by ourselves, it's dead. Our calling as a spiritual people is to transform ourselves as we transform others. Change yourself to change the world. Our calling as a spiritual people is to bring might into the world, to bring justice into the world. I know you were mad when you read the story about Mike Brown, when you saw the stories on CNN, and you wanted to do something, didn't you?
Come on.
See, it sounds like Malcolm. You wanted to do something, didn't you? Malcolm pushed us on there when that brother got killed down in L.A. See, this police brutality has been happening for the whole 400 years. That sister said 400 years. That 400 years ain't stopped yet. That clock is still running. I know you wanted to do something because you are people that love truth. You are people that love justice, don't you? You love justice. That means we got to teach justice. We got to demonstrate justice. We got to speak truth to power. We can't sit back and have a conversation at the house about what you need to have. You need to tell somebody that don't know. But this system got to change. Ashe? See, either America's going to figure it out or America's going to die. Now, you got a choice as African people. You can die and go down with that ship, or you can have your own ship. You can have your own community. You can have your own economy. You can have your own social world. And other people can be part of that, but there's some rules you got to follow. You got to believe in truth. You got to act on justice. You got to have right order and balance and harmony and reciprocity. You can't come to this with this me, I individual idea. Ashe? You got to come with a group idea. You got to be able to speak truth to power. They can't just kill our folks because just like James Brown said, it's going to be a big payback. Or it's going to be a payback. It's going to be a come up. Now the come up might look a whole lot of different ways. It might not be some military thing. It might be the economy fall apart and they can't figure out how to hold this thing together no more because he's so unjust. See, then you got mad when you heard about Eric Garner. Because they tried to get away with Ferguson. Well, different stories, different witnesses, but you saw what you saw. They choked that brother out with an illegal chokehold. A chokehold that they said was illegal. And it still wasn't on criminal act. They're making it plain. They're letting you know how much they don't care about you. Ashe. So the question is, do you care more about you than they do? Ashe. You got to tell your story. You got to tell your history. You got to reconstruct your spiritual community and cure what ails our people and other people too. Because our children are dying for all the wrong reasons. It's time for that Ascetian energy. Not so much a saw, but that Ascetian energy got to rule the power of the feminine. Not the female, don't get it twisted. But it's that feminine energy that exists in men and women. It's that power to transform. It's that power to be persistent, courageous, compassionate. You got to watch. We're gonna find out something in a minute. There's a sister who's a lawyer named Loretta Lynch that President Obama has nominated to replace Eric Holder as the Department of Justice Attorney General. Well, guess what? That situation with Eric Garner, when the feds do the investigation, that's in her federal district right now. So we're going to see something. Either we're going to see us stand up for truth, not worry about getting confirmed, or we're going to see something different. Ashe? Watch it. How will you pull the pieces of your life back together to help your community? God made you whole. You busted yourself up. You let circumstances bust you up. You came here perfect. You unlearned what the ancestors whispered in your ear when they sent you. Reconnect with what the ancestors are saying. Reconnect with what the Most High wants us to do. How will you put the pieces of your community back together? Because God needs Sacramento and LA, South Los Angeles, East Oakland, West Oakland, Oak Park, all the places where our people live. God wants those places to thrive. Not just survive, to thrive. And you are part of that. Ashe? How will you put the pieces of the African world back together? Because Mother Africa wants her children back home.
Ashe?
Intellectually, socially, economically, and politically. Mother Africa wants us back. So to change us, to change you, to make yourself whole, to renew yourself, you got to have a spiritual practice. You ain't got to be religious, but you got to be spiritual. You ain't got to show up at the same place every week. It helps the fellowship, though. Don't just feel good fellowshipping with your brothers and sisters. It feels good. But you got to have a spiritual practice to knit yourself back together, to rise up, to renew yourself, to grow young again. You got to change you to change the world. You got to control your own thought and action. Have a devotion to a purpose. To change you, you got to be able to change the world. You got to have faith in your ability to assimilate the truth. Faith in your ability to wield the truth. Faith in your teacher to teach you the truth. In order to change the world, you got to change you. You got to be free from resentment. Even in the experience of this wrongdoing, don't be resentful. Even in the experience of this lack of a criminal justice system working, don't be resentful. Understand the difference between right and wrong. Understand and distinguish between the real and the unreal. If you want to change the world, change you. If you want your children to do better, change you. If you want your elders to be better, change you. If you want your neighborhood to be better, change you. If you want your friends and family, the people you love to be better, change you. Be the great one. Be the son and daughter of the great one. Ashe? Ashe. Be the fiery one. This is a time to be fiery. Let the truth be said strongly. Some of that Alan Clayton power energy. Some of that Harriet Tubman energy. Some of that Malcolm X energy. This ain't the time to be like all passive. This is not the time to be all measured. This is the time to let people know where you stand. It's the time to let people know that you are a fiery one, that you're a son or daughter of a fiery one, who your head, your understanding has been restored to you. Because the minute you call yourself African, that's the process of restoring your true head. And that if Assad's head couldn't be taken and removed and lost, your head can't be taken and removed and lost. You can find your way again. We have risen up, knitted ourselves together, made ourselves whole, and we grow young again. Ashe. We're going to have a wonderful period of fellowship. We also open up the doors of this community that someone here wants to join us in this work, who's been inspired by this weekend or anything that has happened to join us in this work. We invite you to come. We're going to have a little bit of drumming after we sing our closing selection. And we're going to clear this out. We're going to get some instruction, I guess, in terms of move chairs back a little bit and do what we do.
Drum dance.
We're going to drum dance and eat. We're going to drum dance and eat. Is that how it goes? Shit. What's up there? We're going to drum dance and eat. So we're going to sing Lift Every Voice and Sing. Sister is going to play on the keys this morning. I think she's coming. She going to play? Sister Connie, you going to play? Oh, okay. All right. circle. We just join hands with till earth and heaven ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing high as the listening sky. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun, a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Now to the ones who are able to keep us from falling, the ones who have taught us for countless generations that we are one people, having one faith, one aim, one destiny, one God. Let's call that name that our ancestors have taught us for countless generations. Let us all say, you are the most beautiful people on the face of this earth.
A quick announcement, before the drummers start again, the Mooney Twins will be performing tonight at 3000 Broadway here in Oakland from 7 p.m. Doors open at 6:30. And the tickets are $15, but they said that if you get there and you say you came from Wosay, you will get a discounted ticket for $10. So please go out and support the brothers. They're here in the room as well. And Mama Taiwo, a teacher here at Ileomade, her play Go Tell It is playing at 6:30 tonight. 3:30. I'm sorry, at 3:30 at Skyline College.
There are some of you who would like to see Ileomade School, and I am conducting a couple of tours. If you meet me outside, I'll take you through, so we won't go up this way. We'll be going up outside and then upstairs.